Yeah, I did finish off last stream with it raining, so I'm gonna quickly get all of this out. And then on fishing. Yeah, while it rains, so I can get the better experience rate to do a bit of fishing. So yeah, I'm just gonna go and let this go now. I'm gonna start off by catching 2 clownfish in a row. Okay then. I updated my stream title, right? Let me see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I updated in both places. Yeah, unless I could start getting some lucky catches, this could take some time. Liberals in, like, which specific liberal party? Or just liberal people in general, really? I mean, last I checked, the USA mainly has a Democratic and Republican party that end up often having, like, them being, like, the only 2 parties that have any chance of making it to be president. Yeah, there are other different parties, but it's usually only the Democrats and the Republicans that have any chance of getting presidency. Last I checked, I thought you weren't in the US. Did you move over there recently? Only thing I now need on this is the title Great Blade, then this series will be completed. I mean, that's gonna ideally show up eventually. If I max out all these skills, I'll be able to get a title Great Blade. I still probably would want to test it. Even though I'm for the most part running out of things to really test it on. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie that their sexism against men is definitely a thing. Oh, I see. Been in the US since the first stream you've seen? I'm guessing that's maybe how you know about all the US exclusive games you were talking to me about earlier. Oh, it's just a rune box. I was hoping for one of the higher level boxes slash cases. That would give me even more experience by catching it. which in turn would just make this go by quicker. I mean, I still remember having written, like, 4 things on TwitLonger in response to all the recent allegations in the speedrunning community, because there was just so many of them popping up, and there was actually a list of them being compiled. My main gripe with the whole quote-unquote list is that we don't even know for certain if any or, well, some of the accusations are probably true, but we don't know for certain, like, how many of them were actually outright false or maybe just somewhat exaggerated. Yeah, I think there still is this giant list of allegations, but it's not really being actively updated at the moment. Yeah, I think the person stopped updating in July, but yeah, the point stands, there was still a list. And if you're on it, then that's probably not going to be good for your reputation, even if, like, the claims surrounding your point on the list, even if the claims surrounding your position on the list, like what you're being accused of, aren't actually true, it would still definitely be really bad for your reputation to, like, end up on a list like that. Yeah, I think for at least one of the entries on the list, the proof didn't go beyond a single screenshot. Granted, if he did like what was said in the screenshot, it still would definitely not be right. I mean, I still want to make it clear, I don't condone any sort of harassment or assault, and never will. I'll never approve of it. But I also did bring up the fact that there's little to no protection for men from false allegations. And it also doesn't help that very likely the community will just, like, believe the person making the accusation and not so much the person being accused at times. Especially usually when it's man assaulting women or harassing, whatever the accusation may be. That has mending on it, but it's stuck on a bow that I'm never going to use. It's stuck on a vanilla bow, so I'm just going to toss it back. Yeah, I don't even know if that'll make it any better, though. Extreme here kind of wants Japan to take over the US. I'm trying to picture it happening. I don't know how it will. I was about to say, like, they'd have to go through Donald Trump, but Trump's gonna be out of office in another 2 weeks. Maybe even sooner. I mean, I would say they'd have to go through Biden, but I've heard the guy has little dementia, and if that's true, then I'd feel, like, really sorry for him. I heard he can't even find, like, a playmate to play golf alongside with, really? Like, he can't even find a buddy to go play golf with. I don't know, I was definitely rooting for him, but I still find that pretty silly, him getting banned from even going playing golf. both Curse of Vanishing and Flame. That's Ironback. That's probably some good experience right there. I mean, don't you think banning him from playing golf is a little overkill? I mean, what does playing golf have to do with the stupid decisions you make as president? Or, like, the careless decisions you make? What's Medusa Bling? Oh, is that Dark Samus? Or as I'd prefer to say Black Samus after having played the Google translated Metroid Primes. And where's the advancement? I had actually gotten this a couple streams ago. Well, Minecraft streams specifically. Obtain one of every gold boss statue, so in other words, kill them all at least 9 times. Well, kill them 9 times, assuming you don't actually misplace or lose any of the statues. Yeah, I thought it was called the Constitution or something the US has. It's essentially supposed to just protect ordinary civilians' rights. But with some of the measures being taken just to attempt to contain COVID, you have to wonder if some of those rights are just getting nullified as we speak. Like, let's just say that none of those rights are actually being upheld, then what would be the point of having it? Like, if the rules aren't actually followed. Spelled Samos. Still talking about Google translated Prime 2. Yeah, I think in Prime 1 and also translated Fusion she was called Samos as well. Yeah, in Google translated Prime 1 there was a mention of a certain Baptist Samos R-Man. I want to join your Minecraft server. I don't know if I'll have much time to really play on it, to be honest. Right, I don't even personally think I need to hold on to these pufferfish. But I will anyways. Yeah, that's what I figured. It could be fun. It's just I wonder where I'd find the time to actually play on it. I mean, you don't know that. Okay, almost at 87 hauling. I don't know, I'm just having other things to talk about here. Yeah, you did actually tell me earlier about the Metroid-themed Terraria mod. And since I like the Dragon Ball one and Calamity, the Metroid one's definitely gonna have to be worth checking out. Yeah, I'd probably be more likely to get to the Terraria Metroid mod. Enchanted book with, of course, no mending on it. Power 3. I mean, unless those 5 other episodes can be seen by the public eye, then so I think it would be safe to say it would be hard to actually just come up with like a solid mod because there'll just be like such little material to actually use for reference. Yeah, like, until recently, there's just been like a single Space Cats episode you can actually watch today. I'm definitely not keeping that. Okay, that's almost at 87. I'm just gonna finish off this hauling level here. Just gonna finish training it at this point. I'm definitely close enough to 87. I'm just gonna finish off that one level there. What was that? Alright, this thing just decided to fall off my roof and try and kill me. Sounded like that thing was perched on my roof, dropped off, and then tried to just sneak up, attack me from behind. I'm not gonna let it do that, though. Okay, we're getting there. Getting a bit closer now. I'm gonna guess like no more than 100, but I could be wrong. like I was about to say, I haven't heard of that either. Can you even still watch that movie today? That aired once? And I guess it didn't even make it to a movie theater, right? Like, what did it have to do to only air once? And it's like somebody still archived it. Alright, we're almost there with 87 hauling. And I assume for 2003 that was like a simple enough task. Even back then, just a simple sphere was like an easy enough task. I mean, I definitely struggled in my computer graphics class, but I did figure out how to make a sphere properly. Did figure out how to draw one in 3D. 87 hauling, okay then. And this is a... That's a weapons case, it looks like. So the movie just sounds like one giant meme now, does it? Just mainly due to sheer incompetence or something, it sounds like a nice meme. Yeah, but it sounds terrible, still. But it sounds like meme material with how, like, terrible it is from what you're telling me. Okay, I definitely have my axe in one of these. I think the blue one has it. No, this was the axe I was using. The energistic one I was using. Might repair it a bit. That'll be enough for now. Okay, that's the one I was using. Efficiency 6. Yeah, I definitely thought I put efficiency 6 on my axe before just doing a bunch of wood cutting. So now I'm going to do some more logging. I'll take out some more distortion and energy runes and then I'll actually get back to that. Well, I'm really just running out of distortion runes now. Alright, so now I have to just start simply cutting down more trees to train up more logging. Might as well also just put some energy into this axe and then just start getting to cutting some more wood. Just so I can cut it much faster, until this runs out of stored energy, of course. Then, how did it actually get publicly available? There's a pterodon down there. Okay, now it's actually chasing me. Unless I drop out of this tree, it can't actually do anything. I'm just gonna teleport away from it. Not even gonna bother dealing with it whatsoever. I mean, I have wood to cut here, so I'm not gonna bother wasting any effort trying to take down this pterodon. Oh, T-seeds, that's what those are. Alright, I'm almost halfway there to 94 logging already. If I keep on hitting the extra log drops, like very frequently, we should get there in no time. And I might as well grab these skill crystals while we're at it. Oh, this is now going by pretty quickly. Alright, so let's go over to our next tree here and start chopping at that. Alright, 94 logging, there we go. Oh, so you're just going by what people are saying in YouTube comment sections? I mean, they're not always correct. Yeah, inventory's just been full of random logging drops and, of course, logs for quite some time now. Alright, there's another elephant. I'm just going to run away from that. I have no plans on trying to fight it with just an axe. Or like a sword, because it has a pretty big hitbox. Probably be even stupid to try and fight it with an axe. Like, when he said it was gay, like, all those times I thought he was just memeing for a second. I mean, I could be totally wrong, he could be telling the truth. And now I'm thinking about that Simon from Overflow Darkness again. Yeah, like, when am I actually gonna get back to trying to just push that time down and overflow even further? I actually just took a closer look at the 1327 run not too long ago, and turns out, like, most of the time there is still to actually save in that run is almost all on level 6. Yeah, factoring in how it's definitely possible to 2-cycle Dracula, and also the time losses I experienced in my run at level 6, it's possible to save up to 7 seconds easily in just the final level alone. Possibly even more than that, who knows. Yeah, between a slower than ideal second phase, getting knocked back by an Axe Knight, and then simply just doing a 3-cycle Dracula fight instead of 2. Yeah, I'm looking at a total of 7 seconds to be saved. Oh, almost 95 logging, okay then. Alright, let's just shoot this Shatter Staff. I want to teleport away from this. Oh, okay. I'm fine with going up here. Yeah, definitely fine with being up here. I can just go chop down more wood from up here. I mean, didn't you just tell, like, whoever's gonna find this stream? But then again, to be honest, not that many people will, I can imagine. Oh, hey there. Okay, no, I don't exactly have to keep an eye on my health, but I still probably should. I mean, you never know what's gonna happen. Still definitely good on health. That is if that guy still gives a shit. It's definitely happened in at least 2 years or something. What the hell is a pizzist? Oh, okay, I was about to just say, like, almost not a pizza. So it looked like I was maybe about to fall off this tree. Well, no. Okay, now I'm hitting rosite ingots, so that's just gonna be more logging experience coming in if I get lucky. Then again, if I really wanted rosite, I could always just go crack open more treasure boxes for it. Alright, another elephant. I'm just gonna, like, book it from that. Again, not gonna bother with it. Okay, so that's what that is there. Alright, so next tree. Another rosette ingot, okay. That's another 12,000 experience right there. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, holy shit, I'm not even 5 levels off of maxing out another skill. And so I got right back to training this because I knew I was close. And depending on my luck, I could actually just max out logging literally this stream if I want. Okay, let's just fall off and barely take any damage in the process. I also know I'm supposed to be able to get another special kind of axe from cutting wood, since I recently hit 95 in logging. Just wonder when I'm gonna hit it. I know I'm supposed to be able to get an occult axe for having 95 plus logging now. So I'm just still currently trying to hit it. And I know it has like less weight on the logging drop table than other items. Hence why I haven't seen one yet. I can assure you Disney wasn't originally making their movies for furries. Alright, 96 logging. With no occult pickaxe so far, still. Unless maybe I haven't even been paying attention. One could have possibly dropped for all we know, and I just wasn't paying attention to it. I really would like to see one of those drop sooner or later. Because yeah, if I get one and get really lucky with its special ability, the Occult Axe, then that could really just speed up the rest of my logging. If it works the way I think it might, that could really speed things up. Yeah, wasn't it supposed to be like 50 or 75 after the original copyright holder's death? And there are plans to actually extend it for even longer than that? Yeah, I kind of want that axe to show up soon. And when it does, I'll probably want to get it enchanted too. Okay, now this I didn't know. Right, halfway there to 97 logging now. The rate I'm going, I'm not even going to really need the occult axe to speed up training. It's already going by fairly quickly, just already. Certainly faster than training up fishing, that's for sure. Yeah, so far still have not seen a single occult axe just yet. Honestly, at this rate, I don't know when I will see one. I mean, being able to just cut multiple log blocks at once would be really nice. Still definitely just gonna double check to make sure if there are any occult axes lying around, I'm not gonna miss them. Okay, I don't see any. Would still want to be certain I'm not gonna accidentally miss any. To hear that doesn't exactly surprise me. I mean, even with the Japanese Super Mario ROM hack community, that's something I've noticed, that there are some people who just don't want anyone really outside their community to really see their stuff. Like, it was just insanely unlikely I even got the original Japanese Luigi's Adventure in the first place, to be honest. Okay, 97 logging. So now I'm just 3 levels off of maxing out the skill. What's damaging me? What was that? Something was damaging me there. Okay, let's just make sure I'm still gonna... Let's just heal up. Yeah, I never thought I was supposed to take any damage. Well, I was probably going to take a bit, but I wasn't going to take, like, multiple hits. Granted, it didn't take out much of my health at all, but I wasn't expecting to just start taking random damage multiple times. 19.5k experience drop. Okay, there's the occult axe. Let's pick it up. Yay. Cuts a vertical line above the log. I don't think that does this every single time, but it has a chance to do that. Let's see if it's going to do that straight away. Does it actually do this every single time? Cuts the vertical line above the log. Okay, I think it literally does do that, like, now, every single time you cut a log. It checks pretty much up to the world height limit, I think, for log blocks above it, and then cuts those too for you. Of course, giving you all the logging experience from just cutting all the blocks, like, manually. Okay, we're definitely gonna get to 100 this stream. 100 logging, that's gonna happen for sure now with this occult axe. Yeah, I thought it only had a certain chance to just cut, like, everything above the log you're cutting. I thought it was like 1 in 20 times you cut a log, it just cuts everything above it, but no, it does this every time now. I'm thinking maybe in older versions of the mod, it could have been something like 1 in 20 chance. Okay, so it's definitely 100% now. Yeah, so just maxing the skill, that's gonna take pretty much next to no time at all now. It should be very quick to get these last couple levels. Even with that, putting any enchantments on this thing at all, still, it's going to be way quicker than actually using anything else. It's going to be so much faster than using anything else by a wide margin. Like, nothing else is even going to come close to using this. Yeah, considering I'm getting, like, sometimes well above 40,000 experience from just breaking one log block, I'm definitely under the assumption I'm going to get, like, multiple logging drops from breaking one block. Yeah, each of those definitely have a chance just to drop me, like, another logging drop. Right, so I'm just finishing off maxing out my logging skill here. If you wouldn't mind. If you don't mind. I do want to finish off that skill. If you don't mind. Maybe 1 or 2 more trees and I don't know, I'll be done. We're certainly getting there. I'm definitely going to have to be ready to take another print screen, that's for sure. It's going to happen any moment now. We're just going to max out another skill. 468, 104. Okay, maybe not with luck like that. Alright, we're almost there. There we go! Another 100. This time in logging. Another maxed out skill, let's go. Yeah, now that I think about it, this could be actually a crazy way just to rack up medium skill crystals. Speaking of which, I guess I'm just going to use them all up now, and then go back home. And this will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 free extraction levels while we're at it. And 6 free extraction levels for just maxing out logging. I don't see why not. Yeah, but I'm out another skill. Sure, I can level it up more, but I won't get any more benefits for doing so. Especially since, like, the next milestone to get to would be 1,000, and I'm not gonna stick around for that. I'm not sticking around to get 1,000 any skills whatsoever. I'm willing to do some grinding, but not that much. Not gonna do that much grinding, though. Well, I personally don't exactly know. I'll just put away more of the logs I got from cutting wood. And that's definitely not like most of the logs I got either. Alright, so I guess I'll also have to buy myself this armor. Well, I don't really have to, I just want to because it'll let me expand my collection. Might as well just expand my armor collection. I just have to be able to afford it, which I know for a fact I can afford it. Yeah, I can definitely pay for it, so I'm just gonna take that out so I can pay for it. Alright, so... Lands of Lalicia. If I remember correctly, that's where I have to go and actually buy the logging armor. Yeah, I maxed out another skill, so might as well just buy the armor set for it. I know these logging masters are found just wandering around this dimension, so I have to just look around till I find one. I'll just look around till I see one. Really wasn't expecting to max out logging anytime soon. And so I might have seen some of these guys, but never actually to take note of where they were in the dimension. Because I never thought I'd be playing long enough to max out logging. But here we are. And quite frankly, I actually probably skipped most of the actual log cutting just by using skill crystals. I think I just skipped, like, for the most part up to 85 and then trained the rest of it the intended way. Of course, with the last couple levels being super quick because the occult axe is a thing. Well, no. Alright, so now I do have one of these guys to find. Alright, so where would be the best place to look, I wonder? Yeah, I do know for a fact I pretty much just have to look wherever and hope I find one at this point. Really could find one just about anywhere in this dimension. Well, yeah, probably. Yeah, I'm also still trying to pay attention to my screen here. I want to be certain if I find a locking master, I don't just run right past them. Trying to find this guy sooner rather than later. I'd really rather not run past one by accident. Well, I think it just gives you double drops from locking and, of course, a boost in locking experience when you train the skill. And regardless, I just want to add to my collection, just for the sake of showing off that I in fact did get, like, 100 in that skill. I'll probably print screen myself wearing that too as soon as I find the guy selling it. Not quite the guy I'm looking for. Okay, that's the wrong NPC. Yeah, I do know for a fact I have to just keep on looking. Again, not exactly the right guy we're looking for here. Alright, I guess he's not coming back from that. That was intended to be a quote-unquote undead herald. Yeah, no mention of a cyborg. Yeah, this mod never got that cyborg theme dimension implemented either. Yeah, and I still haven't found one of these guys yet. I mean, I do remember them definitely spawning in this dimension. And I know some skill masters are definitely easier to find than others. This might be one of the tougher ones to find. Okay, why have I not heard of that one yet? Gothic Mario, how have I not heard of that yet? Just curious to see what's going to be in some of these loot chests here. And so far, I'm not exactly, like, impressed with what I'm seeing. Okay, I just realized I stumbled into a banker, so I'm going to take this as a brief little opportunity to do a bit of banking. So in other words, just changing some of these lower tier coins to higher ones. I'll take this as a brief little opportunity to go do that. Do that with my extra gold coins. Turn them into more Lunivers. Yeah, I still have to decide exactly when I'll be doing that. That's a Hunter Master. Apparently I can buy the armor, but I currently can't wear it. I'll just buy it when I can wear it. I mean, I did actually probably take down the notes for where one of these Leletian towers was, and there's 2 more miniguns in one chest. I'm just gonna get back to looking for the Logging Master, of course. Yeah, I know the Hunter Master is guaranteed to be in any of these Leletian towers I find. Google translated Terraria. That probably does exist. I have to look, see if someone's actually done that. I mean, Terraria doesn't have as much dialogue as some other games. It would still probably be interesting regardless, to see what that would look like. I'm guessing these Logging Masters really aren't that easy to find. No, really not having much luck finding one. Okay, I thought I saw one for a second, but no, it's definitely not one there. Or maybe just use the straight-up Terraria randomizer. That would be if I'm ready to do that. Well, I guess while this running around is still at least going to get me some good expedition experience. Yeah, that's just going to get trained up by itself while I'm simply just running around looking for a Logging Master that I still haven't found yet. Alright, how have I still not found one of these guys? It's just beyond me. Like, I must really just not be looking in the right places. That will get annoying real quick, honestly. Oh, really? How have I still not found one of these guys? Must really be getting unlucky or just not knowing where to look at all. Yeah, I totally remember them being in this dimension, though. I guess I'll double check just to be certain. I will double check, but I'm like 99% certain I need to be in this dimension to find a logging master. I'm only too certain this is where I have to be right now. Spawns naturally in Lalicia, yes. That's what I thought. I guess I have just to keep on looking then. Just have to continue to look around and hope for the best. Yeah, I know that exists, though, by the way. That I'm aware of. Oh no, just turn off your monitor and try and play Minecraft that way. Okay, there we go. Let's buy the armor and leave. Okay, maybe I can put it on, take a print screen next to the logging master. Maybe I can take a nice selfie. Yeah, we'll take a selfie. Don't make me go down there. I guess I'm gonna be taking a bit of damage in this armor. Guess I gotta be doing I guess I'm doing some fighting. Yeah, I guess we're fighting. Alright, so much for the selfie. Well, I took it and all, but I gotta just get these guys off my back and then I can switch back to my actual armor. Now I can put my actual armor back on. Yeah, I got that back on just in time. Alright, so now I have no clue where the logging master is anymore, but I took my screenshot, so let's just go. Now I can just run back home. Got what I came out here for in the first place, so let's go home. And that's the mod where everything's green. Oh, is that the mod that can make everything green if you want to make everything green? How much that would affect me, to be honest. Likely not a whole lot. Banned item mod, I'm gonna have to Google that and see what that looks like. Yeah, that would seem like an interesting idea, maybe making an Advent of Ascension playthrough where certain, like, items, specifically the most overpowered ones, are banned. And where certain items got banned. That would be interesting. Much like how in trading card games, cards can sometimes get banned for being too powerful. Well, not sometimes. Like, usually most trading card games have, like some need to ban certain cards just because they're too powerful. If they're left in the game, then they're gonna completely fuck up the game if they're just left in to do damage. Yeah, because when it comes to certain cards in various card games, if you just leave them in the game, then they just completely warp everything around them. I mean, I'm pretty fond of Magic the Gathering and its history of cards that it's had to ban. Speaking of which, when it comes to banning cards, in 2020, like, Magic's had a pretty shitty track record of just having to ban so many cards, like, last year. Yeah, I think it banned 10 cards from Standard, which is supposed to be, like, its easiest to get into introductory format. Standard, in other words, being, like, only the most recent sets are legal for play. Which, unfortunately, that means if you want to keep up, you constantly have to spend money on new cards because your old ones rotate out, and then you can't play them anymore. Which is why I was never too big on Standard in the first place. You constantly have to spend money to stay at a top tier. I mean, the buy-in's less than some more Eternal formats, but still. Like, you'll buy some cards and then, like, they'll lose most of their value 2 years down the road. Well, most cards that never find a home in Eternal formats lose almost all their value, usually. That's often, like, many cards that just never really find a home elsewhere. I'm actually gonna go and pull up the TV Tropes article that lists a lot of the bans. A lot of the recent bans. And I'll also bring up the ones that aren't listed there. Plus cards that aren't actually banned but probably really should be. So, hold on a minute. I'm probably gonna miss some catches. I'll probably just read off, like, some of these recent bans and why the cards got banned. While I do some fishing, of course. So to quote from TV Tropes Magic the Gathering Game Breaker page, with the Guilds of Ravnica set, Wizards started implementing a new design philosophy called FIRE, acronym for fun, inviting, replayable, and exciting. Quite frankly, they would recently print a lot of cards that violate several of those principles they're shooting for. Several cards would not be fun, they would not be inviting, they would be replayable simply due to the fact they're just so much more overpowered than anything else, and they wouldn't be all that exciting. Right, so I think some of these started in 2019. I'm gonna go to 2020. I think, like, the 3 Mana Fairy was on the ban list in 2020, or maybe it was the year before it got banned. Again, I'm not going to keep that. Intervention that only actually has any sort of importance if you die, which I'm supposed to not die, ideally. And Bane of Arthropods, because it's Bane of Arthropods. His passive ability that you just simply get for playing the card in the first place forces opponents to play at sorcery speed, thus meaning any counterspells they have are simply dead cards in their hand. Yeah, any opponent playing like blue, some of their cards just become dead cards just by simply playing Teferi, making all your stuff uncounterable. Because the only possible way to counter a spell is to play a counterspell in response to another spell that's already on the stack. And if stuff can only ever be played at sorcery speed, then that simply can't happen. And just making, like, every instant card less efficient your opponent has. 3 mana means doesn't take a lot of resources to bring him out, can show up very early in a game. On top of that, his own +1 ability lets his controller flash anything in so they can hold up answers to whatever might threaten Teferi. Wizards later admitted Teferi was in the standard format for as long as it was because it was a counter to a card known as Wilderness Reclamation. And as soon as Wilderness Reclamation got too powerful for standard to handle, the 3 mana Teferi also got booted. Yeah, I think that was probably 2019. Probably gonna go a bit further in the list. Okay, Core Set 2020, that was 2019. Okay, it's thundering. I remembered Agent of Treachery was in that set, and read the card, really had some time to think about it, and when I was thinking about that in the context of Standard, I was like, oh shit, are you actually... They seriously print this to paper and just put it out there and let people play it. Like, oh shit, are you serious? I mean, sure, it costs 7 mana and all, but... Okay, Thunder, shut up. In case someone wants to hear about banned magic cards, please, Thunder, shut up. Yeah, there's something called Ramp, which enables you just to produce mana more quickly. Various cards that produce mana or just fetch out lands from your deck. Lets you produce mana quicker, so you don't need to really get to turn 7 to play a 7 mana card. Let's just say if your opponent was really, really unlucky. Ramp around this time was so potent that it could maybe even get out the Agent of Treachery on, like, I don't know, turn 4 or something. Yeah, Ramp could be that potent if your opponent's really unlucky. So I don't know if it's necessarily the Agent by himself that was a problem, or in combination with other cards, but yeah. This thing, when you play it, gain control of any permanent on your opponent's side of the field, and yes, this includes their lands that let them make mana. And yes, you can deny them mana just by stealing their lands if you really want. And let's just say if you somehow get 3 of your opponent's permanents, which this probably isn't all that hard to do in the right deck because there are various cards that can actually just blink him, in other words, just exile him and put him right back on the battlefield, which let you steal another card off your opponent's table, and once you've stolen enough of your opponent's shit, you get to outdraw them 4-1 every turn after you've proven that you already have access to 7 mana. And that card just should have been banned, like, much sooner in Standard, but maybe it took, like, I don't know, at least 6 months too long for it to get banned. Okay, I think Oko was probably 2019, but I'm just gonna read this word for word. Surpassing Teferi and Narset in the low 3 mana walker category is Oko, Thief of Crowns. Already starts with above average loyalty for a planeswalker of his cost. The Dream Curve is to play Gilded Goose on turn 1, which can come down turn 1 and just tap for... Well, it sort of taps for an additional mana. What it actually does is it makes a food token, which you can then sacrifice on the turn immediately after, which would be turn 2 to make an extra mana. So you would play 1 land, play a Gilded Goose, turn 2, play your second land, tap both the lands you played across your 2 turns, and sacrifice the food token to get 3 mana and play Oko. So yeah, that guy could literally come out turn 2 if he wanted. I'm not kidding. Yeah, just explaining things in a bit more detail for anyone not exactly versed in Magic. I still think this is 2019, but still. An example of a card that should have never really been put to paper and in the form it is currently. His +1 ability turns, like, the Goose or just anything else on the board into a 3/3 Elk. Even the Elk transforming ability can be used to defang the opponent's threats or combo pieces. I think it literally turns any artifact or creature it wants to into a 3/3 Elk. And it also makes food tokens, which in turn can be just turned into more life. Or into more mana if you kept your Goose alive. What really sells Oko is, unlike most of the other cards broken in Standard, who usually at most only moonlight in other formats unless they have abilities that are specifically stronger there, Oko proceed to make an immediate meta impact in nearly every available format from the jump. Not just Standard, but he'd show up in Modern and even Legacy. Even Pioneer, a format created a few weeks after Eldraine's released, found itself inundated with Oko. It got to the point where top Standard decks were as expensive as top-level Modern decks. Because at Oko's peak, the card cost $75 per copy, and typically you'd probably just want to play like 4 copies because it was such a good card. So $300 for a playset of a single card, just to really be able to compete at the top level in Standard, which is supposed to be, like, for the most part, a very introductory, new player-friendly format, and right out of the get-go, you have to spend $300 for 4 cards. And then your 56 cards are something else. Yeah, that was when it was at the peak of its dominance in Standard, was $75. Definitely the highest I've seen like a Standard legal card cost in a while. Just to really drive home the point that, like, Wizards fucked up. It was also not unusual to see cards like Noxious Grasp and Mystical Dispute in the main board. Typically they're sideboard cards because they only actually really work effectively against cards of a specific color. Noxious Grasp hitting green stuff, and Mystical Dispute like being much better at hitting blue stuff. But Oko was just like so expected to a point where it was just virtually guaranteed that anyone at the top level of Standard would be playing him because he was just that good. But he was also very easy to defend with another card that I think is also like currently banned from Standard, known as Veil of Summer. Both serves as a very easy to play card to protect various cards of yours, and also draws you a card in the process. His reign of terror lasted in Modern a few weeks longer and was even more devastating because Modern had much better mana bases, so he could be more easily splashed into various other decks. The most egregious example by far was a red-white burn deck, an otherwise perfectly like built red-white burn deck that didn't really need any help from any other colors. It was already fine as is, red and white. Put in 4 copies of Oko, which is a green and blue card, so the deck basically just splashed 2 colors for this Oko card. Yeah. Because it was just that good. It eventually got to a point where it was just Oko decks versus decks to beat Oko, with Oko decks still almost always winning anyways. And then Oko also got banned in Modern, like, beginning of 2020. Yeah, there's also Cauldron, Familiar, and Witches Up and Together. One of those got banned, just to break up the engine that allows the player to get life gain, life loss for their opponents, enter the battlefield triggers, leaves the battlefield triggers, and sacrifice triggers all off once per turn. Also, the process to actually go through all those triggers every single turn would be time-consuming when played on Magic Arena, so I think that also led to, like, one of the 2 cards in that engine getting banned just to break up the engine. So in other words, a 2-card combo that got really obnoxious to play against. Embercleave is a card that isn't banned, but honestly probably should have been. It can cost as little as 2 mana, and when you play it, it just equips itself to something instantly. It can give anything you equip it +1/+1, trample, and double strike. And when paired together with extremely aggressive creatures such as Anax and Torbrand on the same environment, and Torbrand's another of those cards that maybe was a bit too powerful, that just makes every red source deal like 2 extra damage on top of the damage it normally deals. Coupled with extremely aggressive creatures, Ember Cleave allows red decks to one-shot their opponents out of nowhere, giving your opponents, I think, roughly 1/12 of the turn to actually respond, or they lose. They either lose most of their creatures trying to block the creature that got equipped with the Ember Cleave, or they take so much damage that they'll just get finished off by the rest of the like red players' like aggressive creatures. And there's Uro that got banned in Standard and might get banned in other formats too. Another ramp card that both replaces itself and is like easy enough to play and gives like so much payoff for such a little effort. It left the community flabbergasted about how powerful it is. It was another ramp card that offset the inherent weakness of the playstyle. Some ramp cards could just show up in your hand very late when you don't need the mana and literally do nothing else besides give you like an extra land or just produce a bit more mana even when you're already set. So ramp cards in that case that don't replace themselves, very late in the game they're typically dead draws. But Wizards would eventually have the habit of printing ramp cards that could replace themselves, really just offsetting the weakness of such a playstyle. Yeah, for example, there was Growth Spiral that was probably banned either 2019 or 2020. Draw a card, then like you may put a land from your hand on the battlefield, and it was also instant speed. Just for even further flexibility. Yeah, both a really good ramp card, and it could also double as a massive game-ending threat by itself, while drawing even more cards, gaining even more life, and extending even more the land advantage on the battlefield. On top of that, it also had amazing synergies with abilities like Evolve. His low converted mana cost allowed plays that aren't possible with other famous finishers, and God have mercy if you try to use Hushbringer as an anti-meta card, because it also stops the sacrifice trigger, turning Uro into a 6/6 for 3 mana that's eager to bear you in card advantage. It's no exaggeration to say that Uro is one of the most overloaded cards in 27 years of Magic's history, and as a testament of his power, saw play in every single format from Standard to Legacy, before being banned out of Standard in 2020. And of course, you could get banned in other formats too. Oh, I'm at 88 hauling, nice. And even in Dual Commander, which is a niche 1v1 Commander format mainly played by people in France, Uro is a very powerful deck in that format as well. It's even making waves in niche formats like French Dual Commander. And then there's Winota Joiner Forces from Ikoria. Allows red-white decks to turn the game around with a single attack. Winota doesn't even need to attack herself. Just being on the battlefield allows every non-human to search a human from the deck and trigger all of their effects. And Agent of Treachery was a human. So you could just play Winota turn 4, attack with like 1 or 2 random non-human creatures, which you could just generate easily enough from like low mana cards that generate like 2+ tokens. And God forbid any of those triggers actually hit an Agent of Treachery, because you just get to steal an opponent's permanent for like that much cheaper. You don't even have to pay the 7 mana, and you just get to steal an opponent's permanent. I mean, just being able to pull out, like, other cards like that on the fly is, like, powerful enough already, but gets even scarier when you factor in, like, how one of those cards could be just, like, an Agent of Treachery. Agent got banned from Standard, which made Winota weaker, but even then, she still probably should have been banned from Standard. It's still definitely arguable that she was too powerful, even without Agent in the format, just to make her even stronger. But another format, like Historic, she got kicked out of because there was another card that was extremely powerful when paired alongside her. That just doubled all the damage your creatures dealt. And then, like, they brought back Cycling, which is a mechanic that lets you just discard cards from your hand to, like, draw another card. Yet they made the Cycling cost on a lot of their cards super cheap, so they were just very easily quickly discardable and replaceable. And then that would just culminate in playing a card called Zenith Flare, which just lets you do X damage and gain X life for every card with cycling in your graveyard. Except it was very easy to actually get to that Zenith Flare because you're playing cards that literally just like replace themselves and discard themselves into your graveyard for very low cost, so, well, no fucking shit you're gonna get Zenith Flare. You're literally playing a deck to just throw away cards for very little mana to just get new cards for very cheap. So just really do not be surprised that like Zenith Flare is going to show up like much more frequently than like other cards in like combo-ish decks. Some of which can't be cast, they're just there to be thrown away, and payoffs that Ping, Swarm, or outgrow their opponents, capping this all off with Zenith Flare, which I was ranting about earlier. Easily able to kill unsuspecting players with mass damage to the face. The deck's both annoying to beat and extremely linear to play against due to the fact that most of the cards are only there to be thrown away to power up the finisher, which is just more likely to show up because the cards you throw away replace themselves. They just draw more cards. Zendikar Rising brought its own share of issues. Yeah, I think the card that can just like mass produce like tokens to the point where it could actually literally crash Magic Arena from producing too many tokens and creating too many actions for the game to process. I think it was called Skewed Swarm. Yeah, I've seen a couple of videos on someone actually crashing Magic Arena for both themselves and their opponent, forcing the game to be unplayable because this card can produce too many creature tokens under the right circumstances. So 3 mana, 1/1 that reads as follows. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. If you control 6 or more lands, create a token that's a copy of Skewed Swarm instead. So in other words, the copy would just also start producing copies of itself every time you played another land. And there are ways to get around the playing 1 land per turn restriction. For example, like, I think Evolving Wilds is still probably, like, standard legal. How about a card that turns into a hamburger? To be honest, I'm honestly a little surprised Wizards hasn't tried that yet. And I haven't really been looking at chat, I've just been reading off TV tropes for the past, like, 15-20 minutes or so. So of course the copies of Skewed Swarm that Skewed Swarm produces have the same effect to just clone themselves every time you play a single land. So 1 could turn into 2, 2 would turn into 4, 4 would turn into 8, so on and so forth. And there were definitely ways to get around just playing a single land per turn. For example, Evolving Wilds, you play it, then sacrifice it to get another land out of your deck and play that. So that's like 2 land triggers in one shot. And of course there are cards that you just like directly put lands on the battlefield. Yeah, under the right circumstances, which I don't exactly remember what those were, it was possible to, in Magic Arena, which is a digital version of Magic the Gathering you can play from home, it was possible to produce so many of these that you could literally just force the game to crash because there's just too much going on for the engine to actually handle. I'll see if that showed up in chat. I think it did. And this card didn't even get banned. And you can make a strong case for it getting banned. It's not even mentioned on the list of game breakers. But it's a pretty good example of one. Both in, and also in the most literal sense possible, it can be a game breaker. It can literally crash Magic Arena. And then yeah, there was Omnath Locus of Creation as another example. Probably gonna stop reading after this. Was released in Zendikar on 25 September 2020. A mere 18 days later, it was banned from Standard, Historic, and Brawl, which as far as the player base was concerned was 16 days too late. Its toolbox of landfall abilities rewarded players for playing up to 3 lands a turn, remarkably easy with some of the tools mentioned above, and led it to dominate the metagame, It was legal during the 2020 World Finals, in which 32 players competed, and 23 of them ran Omnath-centric decks, including 5 of the top 8 and all of the top 4. So, well over 70% of people based their deck on this one card, because, yeah, it was just that powerful. And it had to get banned a mere 18 days later. Yeah, so imagine just getting into the game, buying a pack, pulling out a really cool looking card, and then everyone around you tells you you're not allowed to play it because it's too powerful. Hence why typically you don't really want to have to ban cards in the first place. It never looks good. Both from that point of view, where like a new player could just get really bummed out they pulled something really awesome out of their pack and it's basically worthless because it was printed too powerful, and if it's left in the game then it's just going to wreak too much havoc and just make the game like less enjoyable for everyone else. And it just proves that, like, Wizards fucked up designing the card, because, yeah, it's banned because it's too powerful to keep in the game. Oh, Dudley, hi. Yeah, so I was talking about Magic cards that had to be banned, and including a couple that didn't get banned, but probably you could have made a strong case for them getting banned, too. Like Embercleave. It's an equipment that costs potentially as little as 2 mana and just gives one of your creatures +1/+1 double strike and trample. That could possibly literally just end the game on the spot unless your opponent somehow responds to it. Yeah, that happens right in the middle of combat, so that would be giving your opponent very little time to even respond. Level 85 plus Innervation, yeah. So a lot of it did recently come from skill crystals. I could maybe read that another stream while I do more fishing. Oh yeah, 2020 was also the year that Wizards actually managed to print a card that's arguably stronger than literally Black Lotus, if you want me to go into that, but that's another story. Yeah, for example, I'm talking about a card that costs nothing to play and just gives you 3 free mana for playing at one time. Normally you can only play 1 land a turn and just advance your mana by like 1 every single turn. There's a card that lets you, like, for literally no drawback, advance your mana by 3 for a single turn. Letting you play something that would normally be, like, typically meant to be played on turn 4, on turn 1, on turn 5, on turn 2, so on and so forth. Back then, Wizards probably did not know what the hell they were doing when they were printing cards. And Black Lotus is probably, like, one of the best examples I can think of. A card that probably will set you back very well, at least over $12,000 for, like, the unlimited version. And it's literally only legal in 1 format, and you're only allowed to play 1 copy of it there anyways. Yet it's arguable they managed to print a card that was more powerful than Black Lotus, because Black Lotus is actually playable in the Vintage format, only as a single copy though, and that's probably the only format it's really legal in. Only relevant format it's legal in. Yet they recently printed a card that actually had to get banned, not restricted, banned out of Vintage. Meaning you couldn't play it at all as opposed to just playing 1 copy. Because most cards that are like restricted in some way in how they're playable in Vintage, they're restricted to a single copy rather than banned outright from the format. Very few cards are banned from Vintage directly, and most of those aren't directly related to just how powerful the cards are, but There was one card they had to ban simply because it was too powerful. The first time they did that in well over 20 years. I think I'm just gonna say, go look up Lures of the Dream Dead on your own time if you're really interested as to how that fiasco happened. Oh, cool, you did? Never figured out how to multiply any of the Advent of Ascension ores at all. I did have, like, a setup that tripled ores, but didn't include Advent of Ascension ones. I'm guessing maybe there's some compatibility with Mechanism that only got released, like, later after my mod pack playthrough. You'll probably want to use that with Runium if you're able to. Okay, I think I actually remember you saying you couldn't, like, quintuple Runium. Okay, how long have I been live, actually? Let's see. Almost 2 hours. I'm gonna probably just stay live for a bit longer and then just call it a stream. Yeah, so I'm at 88 hauling now. Maxed out logging earlier this stream. And I know Runium doesn't come in ingot form, so that's unfortunate. Speaking of which, I have been gathering Runium, and I'm still not exactly 100% certain I have enough to just max out training, well, training Runation. I'm gonna probably just get this enchanted some other time. I mean, that can always wait. Guess I'll wait to enchant that. Yeah, maybe want to do some more fishing, just so I'll have something else to do besides just literally watching my guy fish. Yeah, so speaking of Runium, I have a shulker full of Runium. Well, actually, like, a little under half full. I'm guessing the rest of the Runium that's sitting in these furnaces could maybe just fill it up. Alright, once it's done smelting, that is, it still has to finish smelting. Yeah, so I also do have all this that's gonna go into my shulker. And then a bit more still currently going through the furnaces. And even then, I don't know if this is exactly going to be enough yet to max out Runation from level 88. Yeah, it says 88 right there. Yeah. And I'm still probably going to be able to get a bit more. I can still definitely gather some more. But yeah, I can definitely assure you that took some time to actually gather. Alright, I'm probably really going to want to get more Distortion Runes soon. Just simply due to the fact I'm running short. Yeah, just seeing what else I still have to inevitably train. Extraction, that's gotten to 47 recently, simply due to the fact that I was using skill crystals on it. Trained it manually, trained it myself up to level 15, and then everything else, all the rest of the experience came in through skill crystals. I mean, there's still gonna be this to train. I'd probably likely go back to Crucialisks and grind out some more hunter levels there. That's at 87, this is at 88, this is still sitting at 85. You know, unless I go and start making life runes now, it might take some time just for another of these skills to actually get up into the 90s. Except for maybe Hunter. That could be like the quickest, unless I just make life runes now. With the runium I have, because that would probably for sure at least get me up to the 90s. 90s in terms of, like, the level of the skill. Yeah, I'm just thinking if I might want to train anything else tonight or just end the stream. I mean, I'll just probably leave hauling alone for the rest of it. And then there's still all these banners I'm collecting. That's probably going to be even further off, getting all these bejeweled. That's definitely going to be even further off. Could do butchery, just go killing whatever. Probably kill something that just drops lots of tokens, and then also work on getting bejeweled banners at the same time as just working on butchery. I'd probably go to Daisy Flower if I really just want to quickly kill stuff, because there's 4 spawners going there at once. Yeah, I could maybe just see how quickly tokens are going to drop doing this. I don't see why not. Well, not just bows, but they were melee immune, so bows were probably one of your better bets for actually killing them. I remember them being like one of your better choices to kill them, because I remember they were definitely melee immune at one point. Yeah, that for sure I now remember. Just since you brought it up, I definitely remember that now. And they were also hunter mobs, so it was a good place to train hunter. Just melee immune, so that kind of just held you back from killing them faster unless you used an Explicron sword, because they were still able to take explosion damage. Okay, this definitely does look like the spot. Yeah, this is probably definitely the spot where I just did some daisy grinding. This definitely has to be the place. Okay, they can actually get up here. This I don't want. I guess some repair dust is gonna drop. I don't see why not. And of course, I'll pick up the tokens as they show up. Golden upgrade kit drop. Okay, then. I think I'm also gonna grab a couple of these dirt blocks while I'm at it. Okay, don't do that. I'm just trying to see if there's an even better way to set this up, of course. Okay, maybe should have gotten more blocks and then just continued really working on this. This is probably going to take really long now, is it? I mean, I'm trying to get down to some stone that I should be able to mine faster. Except it's taking really long to get down there. Yeah, just to really quickly get some blocks for myself, I'll take this stone. I'll start placing a bit of that. Just gonna try and push these guys back and then place down more stone, of course. Okay, they're walking back in the water again. I'm trying to get them to not do this. Okay, now they're up here. There's one up there. I'll just pick it off. Another, and another up there. Yeah, there's gotta be a better way to set this up, in all honesty, because I don't seem to know what it is, the better way to do it. Also just throwing away what I don't actually need to keep right now. Which is quite frankly most of the stuff I'm getting as drops I don't need to keep. Just to keep pushing these guys back so I can just get rid of some more blocks. Okay, now I think now they're just gonna kind of go straight for this corner. I can just kill them pretty easily there. Yeah, I think they might all just start going right for this corner. And I can just grind them there. Yeah, so this is maybe, like, the place I'd probably train butchery, most likely. And yes, they're pretty easy to save spot, too. Alright, there's another innervation level. I guess I'm taking that. Okay, there's a few of these guys in here, I see. I'll try and just take down the ones here. Yeah, I don't think this will take terribly long just to get another butchery level killing these guys here. You know, with this many targets, I don't think it'll take too long just to get butchery from this. Could maybe even take them on without safe spawning them, who knows? I don't know if this could work without a safe spot, might. Okay, maybe it's now getting a little out of... Okay, it's getting a little out of hand again. I'm getting pushed in every direction possible. Getting just pushed off the island, so maybe not. Alright, please, let me hit these guys. They're right in front of me. Please. Okay, so I'm definitely at least a quarter of the way there to 88 butchery already. This might be one of the better ways to just level it up, to be honest. Just grinding these out. Better yet, if I can just push these back for long enough, maybe I could come up with something even better. Okay, do these guys know how to pathfind or no? Okay, they do pathfind. Yeah, they clearly do know how to pathfind for damn sure. Okay, I shouldn't have done that. Should not have done that. Something else is somewhere. Yeah, I think it might be more ideal to have the corner looking like this. Yeah, I think this might be a better way to set up the corner to grind these safely. Okay, I'm gonna need to make more inventory space for more tokens at this point. Can't pick up any more. And I'm getting, like, no break right now. I'm getting no break. Alright, so let me just stand somewhere for a brief moment just to put some tokens away. Alright, there we go. Okay, I'll pick up the large skill crystal while I'm at it. I don't see why not. Okay, now I can go pick up more tokens since I made more space in the inventory for some tokens. Okay, I just made a hole I didn't want to make. Okay, I didn't want to make that hole. Can I undo it, or am I not going to be able to ever get any room to undo it? Okay, let's just patch that up, so Daisy stopped falling in it. Okay, I'm almost halfway there to 88 butchery from literally just killing these over and over. And I'm also going to see exactly how many banners this will get me anyways. Okay, hopefully this will just make it slightly easier to group them all in one corner. I think that might make it a bit more efficient, just putting extra blocks there. Okay, it looks like I'm gonna again just fill up my next inventory full of Gardencia tokens. About to fill that up again. Alright, let's grab all those heartstones. Let's Grab them all. Yeah, I think it's still definitely safe to say my butchery is probably going up faster than my innervation. Okay, give me that. We're now gonna have more tokens to put away. If I want to keep on grinding more, I need to put some more away, obviously. I guess I'll also use this up. Just get rid of that. And I'll need to just cram more of these tokens into another shulker. Next, I'll also take my boxes back now. And then just, I guess I'll kill more of these guys. Of course, picking up the tokens I couldn't grab earlier. Now I'm going to pick those up. What's my end goal? 100 episodes? That's probably going to be happening more likely than it's not, to be perfectly honest. Unless I have some freak accident, that we're probably going to see that for sure. Okay, I guess once I fill up this other inventory full of tokens, I'm just going to start leaving, and I'll probably just sell off the tokens I have and see how many banners that gets me. Okay, I'm gonna be leaving in not too long at this rate. The inventory's getting kind of bloated again with more tokens. Okay, that will be another inventory space for, yeah, you guessed them, more tokens. Okay, my inventory is cluttered again. Let's just start heading back home. Let's get out of here. That got me like easily halfway to 88 butchery. And almost halfway to 87 innervation also. That probably didn't take too long. That might have been about 30 minutes spent there, give or take. Okay, the Undead Herald should still be around here somewhere. The guy that Extreme thought looked like a cyborg girl. This guy's still here, so let's give him some tokens. See how many banners this is gonna net me. This supposed cyborg chick. Just buy whatever banners I can with this. See how much closer that's gonna put me towards Bejeweled, of course. And I still have like 2 shulker boxes worth of tokens to gather myself. Yeah, I still have to pull out a couple more shulker boxes worth of tokens. So let's go and do that now, perhaps. Still have these to also give them, and then a yellow shulker that also has quite a few tokens in it I need to give them as well. Those are just other banners that you buy with silver coins. If I want to mass produce coins, I'd probably just do more foraging. Alright, so now trying to make these into more higher tier banners. Alright, so that's, yeah, 34. 35 gilded. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, hold on. Hold on a minute. Oh, wow. 8 gilded. Oh, shit. We did it. Oh, shit. Shit, son. This looks good. There we go. Oh shit, there's another Bejeweled banner. There we go. Let's mount it up, I don't know, right here. We got another one. Yep, we got another. I think I'm just going to throw out the other banners that I have left over from getting the Bejeweled ones. I'll just consider those extras I don't need. I mean, I already have Bejeweled Lunar and Bejeweled Residian, so I'm just gonna throw the extras out. Okay, there we go. Got another Bejeweled banner in the process as well. I don't see why not. Yeah, let's just add that to our collection, and then I'll probably just train Butchery elsewhere to get different kinds of tokens. Then I would have to decide exactly which kind I'm going to go after next. Yeah, and even then, there's still all these Dustopia tokens I would one day want to get rid of. Yeah, there are plenty of those just to get rid of. And I'll just still get plenty more by killing more Crucialisks to train Hunter. Hold on, I think I'm actually going to just sell off some of these Dustopia tokens right now. So I now have to get this guy back into Portal, of course. I'm gonna get some wooden slabs to really help me with that. I think I'm just gonna pretty much call it a stream sooner or later. I'm almost done at this point. Yeah, I'm definitely almost done now. Now to get this guy back into the portal and send him to the overworld, and then I'll send him to Dustopia after that. I have to send him into Dustopia, and I'll just give him the tokens there. Of course, I have to go bring my tokens to him. And then start giving him the tokens. Okay, I gotta get rid of that somehow. It's just gonna spawn Dust Striders, and that's gonna get annoying real quick. So I'm just gonna hand this guy some more Dustopia tokens, just to get rid of the ones I currently have on me. I'll just unload what I currently have. I mean, I really don't see why not. Then I will briefly just get the rest of my tokens and give him those as well. Let's see how many encrusted banners this nets me. That's just more other kinds of tokens. Do I have any Dystopia tokens in here? Yeah, I definitely do. Of course I do. I gotta hand off more tokens to this guy. Alright, let me back in the portal. I'll grab more of my tokens. Said let me in. Please let me in. There we go. That was a little confusing. Alright, so that's all the banners I can get for now. All the spare tokens I had. $25 gilded banners we just got, so that got me 2 encrusted. So at least 2/9 of the way to a bejeweled dystopian banner. A little over 2/9 of the way there. Okay, almost a third of the way already. Now we'll just simply get even more tokens by killing more Crucialisks, which I would do anyway just to train up Hunter. I mean, I was gonna do that in the first place regardless. Also, probably just gonna go and put these with the rest of my lunar tokens while I'm at it. I feel like kind of just keeping these all in one place. I have probably some extra lunars. Yeah, I have some extras here as well. Again, I'm gonna try and get those all in one place. And a couple Sleeve tokens. Also plenty of Mysterium tokens just to load off as well. And these would likely just go towards more Lotto totems and treasure boxes. Since I already have Bejeweled Lunar. Yeah, I think I'll just worry about everything else later. Yeah, I'm definitely done for now. I've had enough for the time being. Got another 100 in the skill, so maxed out another skill. Got another Bejeweled Banner. Yeah, I'm done for the night.